All right, today we're going to talk about something that might just completely change the way you think about work, about your goals, about, well, getting things done. And look, this isn't about grinding harder. It's about working smarter, working right. I really wish someone had explained this to me right from the start, because honestly, most of us are doing this all wrong. Does that sound at all familiar? You ever have that nagging feeling that you're super busy, your day is packed, but you're not actually getting anywhere that really matters? Yeah, it's an incredibly common feeling, and it's because most of us are stuck in a trap we can't even see.
And here it is. This is the absolute core of the problem. We are confusing motion with progress. See, we fill our days with stuff, activity. We look productive, right? But so often we're just spinning our wheels. So what's the actual difference between the two? Let's break it down.
Okay, so let's dive right into this so-called motion trap. We've got to understand what this lie of busy work is all about. Because before you can escape it, you really have to see it for what it is. And that means getting brutally honest about the difference between real work and all the other stuff we do just to feel safe. So what is motion? Well, you know it well. It's all the planning, the endless strategizing, the meetings about the meetings, clearing out your inbox. It's all the stuff that makes us feel busy, It makes us feel important. And it's comfortable. It's safe. But here's the catch, and this is the big one. Motion is what we do to avoid the real, scary, challenging work, the work that actually creates progress.
Progress, on the other hand, well, progress is the work. It's actually writing that chapter, not just outlining it forever. It's making the sales call, not just endlessly refining the prospect list. It's having that tough conversation you've been putting off. You see, it's any action, doesn't matter how small, that directly pushes you closer to your main goal. And let me tell you, it almost never feels as comfortable as motion does. Okay, this breakdown really just hits it home. Look at the feeling. Motion feels safe, comfortable. Progress? Man, that can feel scary, totally uncertain. And what about the pace? Motion is fast, it's constant, you always feel like you're doing something. But progress? Progress is slow, it's deliberate. And the result? This is the kicker. The result of a day full of motion is a full to-do list for tomorrow. The result of a day with even a little bit of progress is a completed goal.
So, how do we get out of this trap? Right? Well, the good news is you don't have to completely overhaul your life. It actually starts with just one small, really conscious decision. And that decision starts with this question. Take a second and really think about this for yourself. What is the one thing you are avoiding right now? The one task, the one project that you know is the most important thing on your plate. Yeah, that one. The one you keep pushing off by doing all that other safer, busy work. That is your target. That's the one real thing.
So making the shift is basically a three-step process, and it's all mental. First, you just have to acknowledge the lie. Stop trying to look productive for everyone else, or even just for yourself. Second, you have to identify that one task you're avoiding. Give it a name. And third, you commit. You commit to focusing on it, and that means removing all the other distractions.
And that leads to this. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is an act of subtraction. Close the laptop, clear off the entire desk, just begin. It's about getting rid of all those distractions, simplifying your space. This becomes like a physical ritual that tells your brain, okay, no more motion. It's time to make some real progress.
All right, now we get to what is, honestly, the hardest part of all of this. Once you actually commit to making progress, you enter this new phase. And I'm going to give you a little spoiler alert. It's quiet, and there's definitely no immediate round of applause. You have to get this. This is so incredibly important. It's supposed to feel lonely. It is supposed to feel slow. When you're doing that deep, focused work, it can feel really isolating, right? The rest of the world is buzzing and moving fast, and your progress feels tiny, incremental, almost invisible. And you might think you're doing something wrong, but you're not. That feeling is actually a sign that you're doing it right.
So let's just completely reframe that feeling. That quiet, that's not failure. That's focus, the silence, the feeling of being alone with the work. That slow pace, that is the sound of real concentration. It's what focus actually feels like. And it's in that quiet space that progress first starts to whisper, long before anyone else can hear a thing.
Now, during this quiet phase, you're going to have to fight off some enemies. You'll get it from the outside, that external doubt, people telling you to be realistic, which, let's be honest, is usually code for stop doing something that scares me. And you'll get it from the inside, too. Your own fear of the quiet and that constant nagging temptation to just go back to the safe tasks, back to motion.
Yeah, the results, they don't scream at you at first. They whisper. Don't go looking for some big